Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Putri Nabila and my student ID is 33220045. Today I'll be present for mid test project 1 cross-cultural understanding. What is intercultural communication? Intercultural communication is the study and practice of communication across cultural contexts. It applies equally to domestic cultural differences such as ethnicity and gender, and to international differences such as those associated with nationality or world region. Intercultural communication is an approach to relations among members of these groups that focuses on the recognition and respect of cultural differences, seeks the goal of mutual adaptation leading to biculturalism rather than simple assimilation, and support the development of intercultural sensitivity on the part of individual and organization to enable empathic understanding and competent coordination of action across cultural differences. Why this matters? In any setting where people with different worldviews need to coordinate action, classroom, workplaces, communities, international negotiations, misunderstanding can cost time, money, relationship, and sometimes safety. Intercultural competence reduces those risks and can unlock the creative benefits of diversity. Challenges in intercultural communication. First is language barriers that lead to misinterpretation or pragmatic incompetence, and the second is stereotypes, prejudices, and ethnocentrism that negatively affect perceptions. Third, differences in communication styles such as nonverbal cues and social protocols. Fourth, anxiety and assumptions of similarity that can widen gaps between cultures. Fifth, lack of cultural knowledge and awareness causing failed or ineffective communication. Real-life cases. A real-life example of failed intercultural communication could be seen in Indonesian business negotiations, where the lack of understanding of a partner's cultural norms, such as with direct communication styles or different perceptions of authority, might result in misunderstandings, lost deals, or damaged relationships. Next is what is business communication. Business communication is the process of sharing information between employees within and outside a company. Effective business communication is how employees and management interact with each other to reach organizational goals and be more aligned with the company values. Its main purpose is to improve organizational practices, eliminate silos, keep employees informed, and reduce errors. Effective business communication is essential for the success and growth of every organization. Unlike everyday communication, business communication is always goal-oriented. Why effective business communication is essential? First, to improve employee engagement. Reagan's research on employee engagement shows that leadership communication is the top internal communication factor that statistically correlates to how engaged employees are. Internal communication teams have a significant role in supporting, coaching, and reminding leaders of communication's importance. Second is to increase employee productivity. 4 in 5 employees believe that effective internal business communications help their job performance. With the information overload, employees often spend too much information searching for content that they need to do their job. Third, improve customer satisfaction and retention. If there's poor communication within organization, two things happen when it comes to customer service and satisfaction. In fact, one study found that employee attitude has a significant impact on customer satisfaction, which then results in an increase in revenue. Fourth, build a better company culture. Companies that communicate in a transparent and open way have a much healthier work atmosphere, employee motivation, and satisfaction. On the other side, organizations that neglect business communication as the main for improving the workplace culture suffer from low engagement, high turnover rates, and low employee and customer satisfaction rates. Next is the role of cultural awareness, teamwork, and leadership communication in international business. Role of cultural awareness. Cultural awareness in international business means recognizing and respecting the differences in values, communication styles, behavior, and expectations across national and ethnic cultures. This awareness helps prevent misunderstanding, reduces cultural conflicts, and fosters trust and rapport with global partners and customers. Next is role of teamwork. Effective teamwork requires clear communication, mutual respect, and an understanding of cultural differences that influence work styles, decision making, and conflict resolution. Cross-cultural teams bring diverse perspectives that can drive innovation and problem solving. Next is role of leadership communication. Leaders must communicate clearly across cultural boundaries, demonstrate cultural empathy, and adapt their leadership style to the cultural context of their team members. Successful international leaders foster an environment of open dialogue, trust, and shared vision, which is fundamental for navigating cross-cultural challenges. Next is real-life case, real company case. Failure Walmart in Germany. Walmart's failure in Germany is partly attributed to mismanagement of cultural differences and communication challenges. Walmart applied American leadership styles and operational practices without sufficient adaptation to German culture. Communication issues arose from ignoring German labor laws, different customer service expectations, and ineffective teamwork management. Walmart's rigid approach led to employee dissatisfaction and alienation of customers, ultimately forcing Walmart to exit the German market. Next is case study 1, cultural barriers. Scenario: a team of employees from Indonesia, Germany, and Japan are working together on a joint technology project. During meetings, the German manager often gives a direct feedback. The Japanese members remain silent when they disagree, and the Indonesian team tries to avoid confrontation to maintain harmony. After several weeks, communication starts to break down, deadlines are missed, and misunderstandings occur. Next is cultural barriers analysis using hostility dimensions. There are 6 hosted dimensions of culture. First is power distance index. The second is individualism versus collectivism. The third is masculinity versus femininity. Fourth is uncertainty avoidance index. Fifth, long-term versus short-term normative orientations. Sixth, indulgence versus restraint. Cultural barriers analysis using hosted dimension. First is power distance. Indonesia scores high in power distance, meaning hierarchical structures and respect for authority are strong, often leading to reluctance to openly challenge or confront superiors to maintain harmony. Japan has a moderate power distance but emphasizes group harmony and consensus. Germany scores low on power distance, and individuals feel more comfortable challenging authority and engaging in open discussions. Second is individualism versus collectivism. Germany is an individualistic culture when personal opinions and directness are valued. Indonesia and Japan are more collectivist, prioritizing group harmony, relationship, and consensus over individual views. And this is the picture of hosted cultural dimension strategic planning model used by business to understand cultural differences between various countries. They are low and high. For power distance index, low is power sharing and high is authoritarianism, and individualism versus collectivism, low collective interest, high individual interest. Next is masculinity, low is gender equality, high is patriarchy. Next is uncertainty avoidance index, low is greater innovation, high is less innovation. Next is long-term versus short-term orientation. Low is universal guidelines, high is flexibility. Next is indulgence, low is pessimism, high is optimism. Next is cultural barriers analyzing uses hosted dimensions. This is the table, and there are score of Indonesian, Germany, and Japan. And for the analysis, Indonesia scores very high on power distance and low on individualism, indicating a hierarchical collectivist culture preferring harmony and indirect communication. Germany scores low on power distance and high on individualism and masculinity, showing a preference for equality, directness, and competitive achievement. Japan has high scores in masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, and long-term orientation, indicating a culture focused on discipline, risk aversion, and future planning. Next is impact of cultural misunderstanding on teamwork and decision-making. First, loss of trust. The German manager might perceive silence as agreement, later viewing unspoken disagreement as dishonesty. Next is reduced participation. Indonesian and Japanese members might withdraw from discussion, feeling uncomfortable with the direct tone. Third, inefficient decision without open discussion. Important issues remain unresolved and leading to repeated mistakes and missed deadlines. The last is emotional tension. Misinterpretations can create frustration or feeling of disrespect and weakening team cohesion. Strategies to improve intercultural collaboration, cultural awareness training, educate all members on cultural differences in communication and decision-making styles to build empathy. Next is structured feedback mechanism. Use anonymous surveys or digital feedback tools to allow indirect communicators to voice concern safely. Last, hybrid communication norms. Establish group agreements balancing direct and indirect communication, clarifying when open feedback is expected and when nonverbal cues are respected. Case study 2: cross-cultural communication for business. Scenario: an Indonesian furniture company, Tropical Craft, is expanding to the European market. The company's marketing team creates advertisement emphasizing family values and community spirit. However, the campaign receives little attention from European audience who view the ads as overly emotional and lacking professionalism. Cross-cultural communication failure. Tropical Craft's campaign emphasized family values and community spirit, reflecting Indonesian culture's collectivist and high-context communication style. However, this emotional and relational approach did not resonate with European customers, who generally prefer to more individualistic, low-context and professional advertising styles that focus on clear product benefits and quality. The campaign failed to adapt to the different cultural expectations and communication preferences of the European market. Differences in advertising preferences between Asian, especially in China, and European cultures. According to Code Design Singapore team, Western and Chinese marketing strategies diverge primarily due to cultural, social, and technological differences that influence customer behavior. In the West, marketing strategies are often direct with a strong emphasis of individualism, highlighting personal benefits and the uniqueness of the product. Digital marketing in West heavily relies on platforms like Google, Facebook, and Instagram, utilizing data-driven approaches to target individual preferences and behaviors. Conversely, Chinese marketing strategies are deeply intertwined with the culture's collective values, focusing on community and societal benefits. The approach is more subtle and indirect, emphasizing harmony and the product's role within the community. The technological landscape in China is dominated by platforms such as WeChat, Alibaba, and Baidu, which integrate social e-commerce and such functionalities all in one, providing a seamless online experience. Indonesia's collectivism prioritizes harmony and shared identity communicated via emotion and relational themes. Europeans' individualism encourages directness and appeal focused on individual benefits. High-context communication in Indonesia uses implicit messages and emotional cues, while Europeans' low-context style relies on explicit, clear messages and professionalism. Revised marketing strategy for Tropical Craft. First, adapt messaging to emphasize craftsmanship, quality, sustainability, and innovation with a clear, professional tone. Next is balance emotional appeal with factual information highlighting products, benefits, and uniqueness. Next, use local market research to tailor visual, language, and media channels to European preferences. Next is engage European influencers or partners to build local credibility. The last is develop short-term creative campaigns that generate excitement and align with European cultural expectations. Case study 3: Nonverbal communication. scenario during a business negotiation between a U.S. company and an Arab client in Dubai. The American representative repeatedly checks his watch and maintains a wide personal distance. The Arab client interprets this behavior as impatience and disrespect, leading to a tense atmosphere and failed negotiation. Nonverbal communication issues causing misunderstanding. The American representative repeatedly checking his watch was interpreted by the Arab client as impatient or disrespect. In the US, this gesture after signal concerned about time management or schedule adherence. Maintaining a wide Next is maintaining a wide personal distance, common in American culture, was perceived by the Arab client as coldness or disengagement, creating a sense of emotional distance and impoliteness. Last is this behavior led to a tense atmosphere and a failed negotiation due to misinterpretation of nonverbal cues. Next is there is a picture of Arab and American globe cultural dimensions. Notes assertiveness, orientation, and then individual collectivism and group collectivism, power distance, uncertainty avoidance, and practice and value. American rank very high in individualism, valuing personal achievement and rewarding individual performance. Conversely, Arab lean more towards collectivism, emphasizing teamwork, collaboration, and group harmony over independent action. This collectivistic orientation is evident in group-focused activities such as meetings, planning, decision-making, and social events. In terms of assertiveness, Americans tend to be more assertive, direct, and task-oriented, prioritizing getting things done efficiently. Arab, in contrast, are generally more modest, tender, and relationship-oriented, valuing personal connection and harmony more than direct confrontation. This difference aligns with broader communication differences where Americans typically use low-context communication and monochronic time management, focusing on direct messages and strict schedules, while Arab use high-context communication and polychronic sense of time, emphasizing relationship building and a flexible approach to schedules. Next, influence of nonverbal signals. Nonverbal cues like proxemics, personal distance, gestures, and time-related behavior carry different meanings culturally. Misreading these signals can undermine trust and rapport. Next, in our business culture, building personal relationship through close physical proximity and relaxed time management fosters trust and cooperation. Next, in American culture, demonstrating punctuality and respecting personal space conveys professionalism and respect. Last is misalignment in nonverbal communication styles can create misunderstandings, reducing trust and increasing negotiation failure rates. Recommended communication strategies for cross-cultural meetings. First, adapt behavior flexibility. Americans should avoid overt clock watching and allow more relaxed time frames. Arabs should be aware of American punctuality emphasis. Next, modify personal distance to a comfortable middle ground by observing cues and adjusting physical space accordingly. Next, use verbal communication to clarify potential misunderstandings explicitly, for example, explaining the reason for checking time. Next, employ active listening and observe nonverbal feedback closely to adapt communication during negotiations. Next is engage in small talk and relationship building rituals valued in Arab culture to establish trust before business discussions. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.